Welcome to Desire to Inspire. I am Dylan. I will be one of your hosts. Basically, today we're just going to kind of break down what Desire to Inspire is, where the vision came from, what it's going to be going forward, and what it means to us. So I will hand it off to my partner, Derf, so he can kind of explain the vision that he came up with.
Thanks, Dylan. Excited. Some of you know me as a different name, but my personal training name is going to be Derf. We're going to just jump into where Desire to Inspire initiated from and kind of the belief of where we're going to take this. And so I approached Dylan, I would say probably 7 months ago, after about 14 months of actually thinking about DTI. I knew I had a vision to help people out. I knew I had a vision to want to make an impact on people's lives, but I didn't know how that was going to happen until I went through a pretty rough time in my life, which I'm sure we'll touch on as DTI grows. So from that time, I started getting into the gym a lot and really getting mental clarity on things that were going on in my life, things that had happened, and the direction of where I wanted to go. And so as I was thinking of how I can make an impact in this world, I started painting this image. And it all started with getting into the gym, realizing that there's a lot more to mental health, and that's the physical aspect and taking care of your body, getting in the gym, sweating, all of that. And from there, I wanted to create some sort of pathway on how we could do this at a greater scale, because whether it was family I was talking to, friends, things I was seeing online, there was a lot of people going through trying times that weren't talking about it, or they weren't shining as much light on it. And so I saw Dylan, who I've known for a long time, spread motivation, awareness, and positivity in his own way without really reaching as many people as I think he thought he was, because he helped me tremendously throughout the process and creating this. So I approached him about 8 months ago saying that I had an idea and I wanted him to join it. And then he pushed me for about 2 more months to be like, hey, what is this idea? Let's keep it top of mind. What is it? Blah, blah, blah. Came up with this business image that I had, came to Dylan. I said, hey, this is what I've been drafting up. This is what I want Desire to Inspire to be, is to focus on mental and physical health and correlating the two. And that there's a huge gap that the world, the industry isn't teaching us and telling us. And so how can we shine light on the things that are overshadowed in a world that we live in that has so many filters on it? So I came to Dylan with the idea. He brought his, and I'll let him tell his side, but he brought his image and direction to DTI of what he thought it could be. We joined forces, and now we have this great, I think, picture painted right now of a short-term DTI and what a long-term one looks like. So Dylan, I don't know if you have anything to say on your.
Yeah, I would say when you first brought it to me, it wasn't even like the idea itself. It was kind of like, you just kept telling me, like, I have this thing I really want to talk to you about. And I feel like we put time on the calendar for months, really. And like, it just never happened. Like, we never actually talked about it. So when we finally did talk about it, I feel like it aligned very well with what I was already trying to do. There was a lot of times where I was active, but I wasn't necessarily healthy. And I think that a lot of people equate those two together, but I don't think it's that black and white. And I think that that's a thing that we're going to try to bring together. It's like, that you can be unhealthy, but still be in the gym or be doing these different things just because it's something bigger. So I was already like Derf said, putting out like these motivational quotes. I was in like the habit of, I was writing a book and I was putting out a newsletter and I was doing all these different things, but it wasn't really driving towards any real goal. I was just kind of throwing it out into the universe. And if it helps somebody, it helps somebody. And I was getting good feedback, but it wasn't anything like that I could really like put my name on. So before the idea was even brought to me, I was in the process of becoming a personal trainer. So it was honestly just perfect timing and everything just fell together. And I love the vision. And now that we've really put a lot more time into it, I think that, like you said, it is just like we have this outline and now it's just about really just like driving it home.
Yeah. I in the beginning, when I was creating this like picture or image of what I wanted DTI to come to fruition as, when Dylan was pressing me to get on the phone, to speak it, to go after my goals and motivating me in that way, to share it with him, I didn't want anybody to tear this vision I had down, because I was building and creating something in my head and I didn't know what avenue it was going to take. So I was figuring all that out. And so instead of taking it to Dylan and being like, hey, I have these concepts, like, what can we build from this? I took the time kept it to myself. So that way nobody distracted me, brought me down, beat me up over this idea of no, you can't do that, or no, there's not a future in that. So I really just kind of held it close to my heart, worked on it for a while, didn't talk to any friends, family, except for Dylan at this time. He knew that there was an idea, didn't know what it was. And then from there, we had planning calls, we had different meetings. I even went out to Colorado, we were talking about it there. And so it just formulated into what now is, I think, going to be pretty cutting edge in this industry, where we take personal training and we use it for the mental aspects as well, to bridge the gap between saying you're going to do stuff and implying it, and then just forgetting about it and not doing it. So the right now is like, let's focus on it right now. What's bothering you? How can we help you? What can we do? And I think a lot of mental issues stem from a lack of physical activity.
I mean, even that can go back to like what you said. So right now we're preaching right now, but when you first had this vision, you even dealt with like those fears of, are people going to tear me down? Or like, it didn't even have to be that deep. It could literally be self-doubt. Cause I mean, we're pretty opposite that way, where I just throw everything I have at the wall and whatever sticks I run with. Like that, I've tried to do so many things, I feel like, and they just fizzle out or they just don't happen, but I still just throw it out there. And I think so we're at two different points where it's like you brought a very professional approach to it and you wanted to really make sure everything was right. And I think that you being able to slow me down helped the process altogether. Because if we had just put it out when we initially started talking about it, there's no way it would be where it is now.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of back and forth just with a whole bunch of different things of how we actually think that we can make an impact and where we can start. Because as we know, we live in a world where nobody's the same. Everybody deals with different life problems. You and I have spoke a lot about the things that we've been through in life. And it's like, even though I can't relate in the sense of going through that with you, I can relate in the sense of, okay, there are hard times. There are things we need to get off our chest. And if we keep all of that built in, like I was doing in the beginning with this concept that I had, how are other people ever going to benefit from what you've went through? Right. And be able to get past their own problems, hard times, things like that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, everyone has their own shit. And I think that we're at a point in the world where mental health is bigger than it's ever been. And I think that people speak about it a lot, but they don't really talk about it in a productive way. It's always like, oh, I'm depressed, or oh, I'm this or that. And there's never a solution to it. It's just, let me just keep talking about the problem because that's what's going to. But so I think what we're doing here is we're going to be able to bring real life solutions. We're going to be able to bring people together who can talk to us about their problems, can talk to each other in small groups, however that might be, and just be able to bounce these ideas off of more than one person. So it's not just you being stuck within your own head.
Yeah. And hopefully this creates a community where it won't just be us that they can go to. It'll be other people, because as DTI grows, and as you guys will see in more videos, is that it's going to be pretty simplistic. The way it's laid out is we're going to have videos, and hopefully Dylan and I will be in the same area sooner than later, so we can actually have in-person things. But we're going to have videos, and they're going to be little blurbs of, hey, this is about depression, or this is about getting a new job, or this is about somebody passing away in your family. And it'll be things where people can go and click, listen 5, 10, 15 minutes, who knows, even 30 minutes. But it'll be a community where, again, we take the filters off of life and we realize that happiness isn't $1 million homes. Happiness isn't private jets and luxury cars. Happiness is like who you surround yourself with that is motivating you to get to your dreams, whether that's to get closer to your family, to get in a relationship, to treat so-and-so, whatever it is let's take a step back from this social media persona of what happiness is and get back to the roots of what actually causes this happiness.
Yeah, you're about to make me cry, man. But no, I mean, I feel like that is 100% our mission. I think that we're on the right path there. It's obviously a slow rollout right now as we get everything going, but I mean, it's only a matter of time before this thing is everywhere.
Yep. So all you guys need to know is, in that ramble that Dylan and I just had, that DTI is bringing physical and mental health together. We want to create a community where we can go to each other for the hard times, but not only that, is fixing those hard times to make sure that we have tangible solutions or goals in place that we can achieve to make sure we get out of that slump, to make sure that we can move forward in life and focus on all the good that there is.
Yep, it's all about pretty much having people to lean on in the hard times and the same people there to celebrate with you in the good times.
Like we said, DTI, where you step in alone and walk out together.